This morning I'm hemmed in down here on the edge of Loch Maree. I don't have a huge amount of space to work with, but I'm at this lovely little spot which I've seen quite a few images from before, and it's just a gorgeous composition here. We've got the island with a few trees on it and then the beautiful Loch behind it, and it's a gorgeous little position. So I thought I'd pop down here this morning. We've got fairly clear skies, which we've not had an awful lot of lately, so I thought I'd pop down here and see if I can take some images. I've got a couple of compositions in mind here. I've got one which is going to be a slightly wider shot. I think I'll probably crop it probably to a 16:9, which I seem to do quite a lot with my images, where I've got the whole island with the mountain to the right hand side. But I've also decided to take a couple of images where I've just got the island sort of cut off and it's zoomed in, so that you've got the mountain as the main focal point of the image, with the tree on the left hand side. I've got lots of time down here. I made it down here quite a bit before sunrise and the sun is yet to come up. So I thought I would just sort of get the camera set up, get my compositions eyed up, and then just wait to see if we get some light. We do have quite a bit of cloud actually over Loch itself, but I think that's okay. I think it actually adds a nice little bit of atmosphere to the mountain. So the other thing I might do before that cloud disappears is take a few telephoto shots just of the mountain itself. In terms of filters, I've just got the polarizing filter and the 6-stop filter on there. The 6-stop's giving me plenty enough time in my exposure, which is currently about 10 seconds. But as it gets brighter, I might switch over to the 10-stop if that exposure becomes a little bit short. The one thing I'm slightly worried about is there's just a little bit of movement in the trees from the breeze. It's not too windy this morning, but there is a slight breeze. And this place actually would be brilliant if we had a nice flat morning with reflections, and I have seen some beautiful images of this location in those conditions, but this morning we don't have that, so I've decided to opt for longer exposure. But the issue, as I said, is having a slight bit of movement in those trees. So what I've done is I have actually taken some shorter exposures, which gives me the option, if I need to, of doing a blend in Photoshop. So I can use the shorter exposure for the trees. I don't know if that will work out. Quite often when you try and do that, I find that you can never quite get it looking right. Especially if you've got clouds behind the trees, sometimes getting that blend to look natural can be really difficult. And sometimes I actually just prefer just to leave just a slight movement in the trees. But it's nice to have the options when you get home. So I've switched over now to the telephoto lens, and the reason was I started to see just a little bit of light catching the clouds. There's some clouds up over there which are really turning pink, and the clouds which were rolling over the mountain, the edge of them were just starting to catch a little bit of light. Now if I'm lucky and those clouds catch some more light, then it could be a stunning image. So I've put the telephoto lens on just to see if I can take some close-up images of the mountain with those clouds coming over it. But I've got the wide angle ready to go, so I can sort of switch between the two lenses fairly quickly, depending on the conditions as they change, because I've got a feeling over the next few minutes we might get some good light. Getting some really nice light now. The sun's coming down the glen and just illuminating this nice golden glow up the back of the glen. It's absolutely beautiful. Fortunately, I've worked out which sort of compositions I like, so I'm just very quickly now just trying with a few different compositions and working quite quickly just to catch it whilst this light is so good. So I think that patience really paid off. We've got some beautiful light, but actually I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer. It's got quite bright now, so I've put the 10 stop on, but the only issue is that breeze has now picked up a bit more too, so we do have a bit more movement going on in the trees. But the sun now is just about, as I'm speaking, to come over the hill just on the right hand side here. And so I think when it does, we might get a little bit of light on the trees themselves, and that's one of the things I've been struggling with so far, is that those trees are very dark, and I can see that those trees are just starting to just pick up a little bit of light now on their trunks. So I'm going to give it a little while longer and see if these conditions improve much further. Well, I must admit, when I came out this morning I was sort of expecting to go and visit a few different locations, but actually I think just staying in this one location and waiting for these lights to change has been worth it. I think I've come away with a few nice images, so I'm going to end this video here. You can probably tell the breeze is getting up a bit now, so it's just creating a little bit too much difficulty really in trying to do these long exposures with these trees, so I'm going to call it a day. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.